Hi everybody, it's Gail from Gail's Bookish Things. I thought today I would share with you my currently inked pens. This is what I am wrapping up the month with. I know it's only a few more days. I'll probably keep this for a while anyway because I've kind of been changing them out throughout December. I just get really restless with colors. I wonder if you do the same, or do you ink up your pens and you're happy with them for a while? I feel like some I can stick with, and if I'm not happy with the combination, I have to empty out the ink and start over, or pick a new pen, new ink combination, or whatever, because I want all my experiences with writing to be pleasant. And, you know, that's why we write with fountain pens, because of the enjoyment. So let me share with you what I have going here. To start off with, here is my new pen. I have done a video on this. You're welcome to watch that. And this is the TWSBI Eco Tea Royal Jade with Rose Gold. I've been asked about the Eco Tea part. That just means for triangle, it's got a triangular shaped cap, piston knob, and the grip is also triangular shaped. I am liking this pen, and I'm finding that different inks work differently with it, as is typically the case. When I started out, I used the TWSBI Midnight Blue that it came with, and it was super gushy, like really, really gushy, maybe to the point of being a little too thick. So I decided to try a new ink in it. But I wanted to say too, before I go into that, I had the Midnight Blue in it. I was taking notes. I typically take notes during a Sunday school class and the sermon, and it just quit writing. It was so aggravating. I didn't expect that from my TWSBIs, but every so often I just couldn't get it going. So that was very strange. I don't know. Am I writing too fast? Who knows? But I did switch it out with this sample vial that I had. This is the Ferris Wheel Press Sunlit Jade. They also have a Moonlit Jade. I had originally bought this to use with my Pelican M200 that I was getting, and it had to go back because there was too many skipping issues with the nib, which is kind of my luck with a little bit more pricey pens. Anyway, back to point at hand. This ink and this pen really work well together. I feel like it's a good match, especially how the pen in the barrel looks with the writing. This, as I'm looking through my camera now, is not what this looks like. This looks, what does this look like? I don't even know how to describe the color, and it's the same thing I said when I did the review. It's a much more rich, deep green. Then it's almost looking more on the blue end through, at least now. When I upload this, it seems like the color changes yet again. But anyway, in person, this is a pretty decent match. And again, it doesn't have to match, but sometimes I have fun matching them up. I started out having to match my pens when I first started this fountain pen hobby, which has been about 1.5 years ago. Now it's just kind of whatever I want to do. And secondly, let me see if I have these in order. Here's my TWSBI Diamond 580. I love this pen. I got to sample Donna's when I was in New York, and it was fabulous there, and it is fabulous here, and I'm glad to have this broad nib. I think that's what I got. Yeah, there's a B on there. This is a size 5 nib. I just learned this. This is a 4, and this is a 5. I always think it's funny how people put their hands behind everything, but now I know why. I'm trying to get a good look. It's not quite focusing. Anyway, 4 and 5, in case you're wondering. And these are both broad nibs, but I love the look of this. This nib is super smooth, and the Monteverde Jade Noir is such a good ink. It's been a good ink for me, a good match. It works well in a lot of my pens. It's a really dark green, almost to the point of looking like black at times. But I have enjoyed that so much. And you can see this was pretty full. It's getting on the empty side. This is the Smoke and Rose Gold. If I didn't say, and it's called Smoke because it's sort of a smoky color here and in the grip. But I really, really like this. I love the Ecos and the Eco Tees, but this has a little bit of a style to it that's so pretty, and the faceted element to the barrel is super nice. Let me grab a drink of my Diet Coke. Typical voice thing going on. So, loving that. Let's see. Next, I have my Opus 88. This is called the Orange Demonstrator. I got this at the St. Louis Pen Show this past year. And I generally really like this. I have to remember to open this up if I'm writing for a while so it doesn't run dry. I think it's really pretty. This kind of makes me think of an orange candy here at the end. It writes nicely, smooth. This has a 6 nib on it. It's a broad nib, but the size of the nib is a number 6. I think there's just too much of a glare from my little lamp. I like the bigger pens. I'm finding that that is a comfort area for me for the most part. So I put the Southwest Sunset in here. I read some reviews about it. I do have an orange that I like that I bought for Thanksgiving fall time, but I read so much about the beautiful shading on the Southwest Sunset, or also called Apache Sunset, that I decided to go ahead and try a sample vial, and I did, and I liked it. And it is good, and it's kind of a fun little bright spot in these darker colors. This, of course, is bright. That's kind of experimental, though. I just have, you know, the sample vial of that. I don't have a full bottle. I kind of like to match the seasons with the inks a lot of times. Not a rule of mine, but it's just sort of fun. So these are more my wintry colors. And then the ongoing ever inked up cement gray TWSBI Eco in broad with J. Urban's Gris Orage, or in English we would say stormy gray. And then in my TWSBI VAC 700R, these two are what I bought when I had to return the Pelican. I wasn't up for spending money on another pen that I was going to have the nib fixed. It's just really kind of funny how that's been my experience. But anyway, love this. I forgot to tighten that last time. This is a vac filler. It has a fun shape to it. It seems to taper here and then get wider. That's all in the internal workings. It feels very smooth on the outside. I like the looks of that. It is another number 6. Looking around for something I could stick in the background to help that show, but I kind of feel like, again, it's just the glare from the light. This is also a really nice writing experience too. It holds a lot of ink. I like the look of it. It's kind of heavy duty looking, kind of cool. It's got this faceted knob here. Really pretty end finial, by the way. I should show those. Those are, again, glare, but really, really nice compared to just the more everyday Eco Tea or Eco look. All of them are nice. This is just a little fancier. I do not care for the brushed metal there on the clip. It doesn't matter. It doesn't like hugely disappoint me. I'm just not sure why they would chose to do the brush metal when the rest is more of the chrome look. If it were all like that, I think that would be better, or make it all the shiny chrome. But Not a deal breaker, delightful to write with. I do enjoy the big nib size. I like the broader or 1.1 stub, but I also like the look of a big nib in a pen. And then this is my new ink. Oh, by the way, that was Noodler's 1984. This ink goes on blue and it dries purple, kind of like the purple in this writing, which, looking through my camera, is pretty true. Who knows how it will show up when it's finally uploaded, but it's kind of funny because I have been looking for a purple like this, and I ordered all sorts of samples, and I tried a bunch of Robert Oster inks at the New York Pen Show, and looking for like a, what I would call a gentle purple. And then I realized the Noodler's 1984 was really kind of what I was looking for. So I don't need to buy any bottles of that now. This is a super wet ink, very nice to write with. It doesn't have a whole lot of pizzazz to it, but the fact that it goes on one color and changes is neat. And then if you look at a big swatch of it, may or may not show up here, it does have a sheen to it. But it's very nice to write with. And then last, but definitely not least, is this ink. I put it back in the box so you could see how it comes. This is from one of the previous year Inkvent things. This is the red edition by Diamine. I thought the bottle was super fun. I mean, the bottles are half the fun, aren't they? I mean, you gotta like the ink, but it's so fun to have unusual bottles. So I had seen this on Marcy Mee's channel. I've seen it on other channels. It really stuck out when she showed it, though. It kind of clicked with me at that point because she did a big swatching, and I'm like, oh, that is so cool. Other reviewers said, oh, that's just not for me, but that's for me because it goes on a dark brown, and I'm hoping you can see this green sheen in here as well as a blue shimmer. It just was so neat and kind of multi-faceted that really drew me in, as well as the title being Winter Spice. So that can be, you know, December on, all through the winter. I think it's fun to have some themed inks, as I've mentioned, and this one just popped out to me, and I did not order a sample first. I took a leap of faith and tried the whole bottle. It's a shimmer and sheen. My husband bought that for me. Well, I showed him what I wanted. I think I might have even ordered it, and then he just PayPal's the money back to me and wraps it. So it works out quite well. The writing here, can you see the green element to the brown there? Don't know if it's coming through, but I really like it. I like it a lot, and I've been reaching for this basic TWSBI Eco transparent pen. Also in a broad. I don't think I have any of my 1.1 stubs inked up at the moment. This here is the Cosmo Air paper. It's by, it's a Cosmo Note, but it was, I bought it. It's a Yamamoto paper. Talked about this before. It was award-winning in 2019. Most fountain pen friendly. It's 83 GSM. And I like this paper a lot. I've talked about it countless times. But I have found that a few of these are working better on the old Tomoe River paper, which is what this notebook is here. Just playing around with that today. This Sunlit Jade on the Cosmo Air light paper just felt a little draggy. It doesn't bother me most of the time. It feels like an element that I have said just steadies my pen. Now, Clairefontaine I tried and did not like that. I felt that was super coated. It's kind of funny because I was at the beginning of this whole journey and thought, oh, I'd love that. Couldn't stand it. But this does not bother me. nor does the Regalia paper, which I am using to take my church notes on. I do wonder if that's why my TWSBI ran dry. If that paper was a little more absorbent, I don't know. Strange, but I guess you just live and learn, and you have different experiences with fountain pens. But here on this Tomoe River, this is a 68 Tomoe River. I bought this from Goulet Pens. This is the A5 size. And this combination was super wet, super flowy on this. Not crazy gushy like when I had the Midnight Blue in this, but very satisfyingly juicy, I guess you could say, is another adjective. Went on really dark, sparkly, kind of faded. It kind of primed the nib, got a little bit darker again. And then later on, when I was writing these song lyrics out, it started to get lighter again. So I'm guessing that's just the flow of the ink and the amount of writing I'm doing. Maybe it needs a minute to get down into the feed. I'm not sure, but quite different than here on that one. Both were pleasant, but it was preferable here to me. And then the this is the Winter Spice, same pen, broad nib, TWSBI Eco, and it went back to my original thoughts about Tomoe River paper. Love it, love the shading and sheening, and the feel of it is so satisfying, and inks look so beautiful, but the way I write, I feel like my pen slips around on it too much, and my writing is less neat, less uniform on Tomoe River paper, oftentimes. And so that was my experience with this. It was very nice to write with. It was very much a smooth, comfortable flow, but I didn't feel like I had as much control with the pen as I do when I'm writing on the Cosmo Air. So it does vary. I guess all that to say, the experience changes per pen and ink combination and paper. So that was interesting. I've gotten into a new little hobby. This is my first time trying it. I've been watching a lot of Marcy Me, and she did an Inkvent unboxing daily thing throughout December, and I thought, you know, it looks really fun to try the chromatography. Up to this point, I have seen people do that and not been, it didn't intrigue me. It wasn't impressive one way or another. It seemed kind of boring to me, like, why would you take the time to do that? But as with everything with me, I'm exposed to it enough, and all of a sudden I want it. It's like with fountain pens. I was like, why would you want to mess with that mess and put ink in and blah, blah, blah. And then something clicked and I became hooked. And it's kind of the same with this. It just seemed like a fun new element to add to my fountain pen world. So if we start at the beginning, the Sunlit Jade. These are the same inks, two different swatches. I think I redid it because I felt like maybe I dipped it too far into the water. Now Marcy will say just do a little line like with a paintbrush across the bottom, and then not all the way across the bottom, up a little bit from the bottom, and then dip the plain white part into water. And then once it stops rising, you've pretty much gotten the extent of the colors shown on the paper. So this one just has a little more golden yellow than this one. Not sure, but they both end with this blue. Let me interrupt myself here to show you the strips that I purchased. These were off of Amazon. I believe this is an American company. This was a pack of 50. You can get more than that. Well, this is a pack of 100. You can get more, you can get less. And so I also trimmed these down. As you can see, they were almost, you know, about that long. So I cut them into thirds. This is the Jade Noir, which is quite surprising to me to see so much purple in there. And then it's fun because this ending here, the bright green and blue is really similar to the Sunlit Jade. A little bit of a dark greenish, or maybe a brown in there. And then the Apache / Southwest Sunset, the Noodlers. This looks like a coral or a peach color, a vibrant orange, and then a deeper burnt orange. This is such a fun color. It's very satisfying. I really like it. And it's kind of a nice contrast, a little bit of bright in the winter months. This is the Gris Orage, or the Stormy Gray, as you can see from my writing, but if we can bring it up closer, you can see the gray. This ink has a wonderful gold shimmer, and it's barely coming through down there, but it does have it, and it's such a wonderful pen ink. I love it. Ends with a dark purple and sort of a, or maybe even a blue in there, and then a lighter purple. And the Noodlers 1984 is fun. You get all kinds of colors there. Dark blue, pinkish purple, dark purple, maybe an orange, and then a purple again. And then, of course, the Diamine Winter Spice. This fun bottle is very unique. I love how it ends. This fun little, like a little wave, so like oceans or something. Mauve, pink, burnt orange, so on to a darker brown or even black. I'm not quite sure. So I don't know. I think what I'll probably do is when I get a new ink, I may add a color swatch to my pages where I have the inks swatched in bottles. We may add the chromatography strips for something new, like here. So where I have the Southwest Sunset, I could do a little strip next to that. I could probably find room on these pages or overlap it on the bottle. Here is the Diamine Winter Spice swatch. It is so gorgeous. Oh my goodness, it just called my name. Bright spot of shimmery blue there. You can see the Noodlers, how purpley that looks, but it's so fun because it goes on blue, as I said. So I might do that. Maybe I'll just do it when I'm not sure. I'm comparing a couple colors. But I like that now. I guess it just appeals to me now. I've played around with this for a little while. I've had a lot of ink mistakes. I've bought inks that I don't like. Anybody have an idea of how to pass those along? Let me know. I have asked that before, but feel free to offer some new suggestions. Anyway, that'll be a new element to this hobby, and I am loving the fountain pen still. Hope you are too. And I guess that's all for now. Thanks for watching. See you again soon. Take care.